extremely thankful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I am going to talk about how we can leverage AI and ML in our pharmacovigilance and post-marketing surveillance activities.
Madam, 15 minutes, please.
Okay, sir. Quick overview, what are these terms? What is pharmacovigilance, which is drug safety, PMS or post-marketing surveillance used in context of device safety? So you see the regulatory definitions below, but the highlighted portions are the crux of it. So the set of activities that we perform in order to ensure that our product is. So why do we need vigilance system? To ensure that the benefit always outweighs the risk. Now this is how a typical post-marketing flow look like, right from our product being available in the market. So it is consumed by the patient, it is used by the patient experiences some complaint, and the process of intake where the manufacturer uptakes the complaint, processes it within the database and has to adhere to the set of regulatory obligations. So expedited is the immediate reporting requirement, periodic where they have to perform a cumulative report and submit as an aggregate, and then signal detection and literature. So these are the key post-marketing obligations, and for this talk I am going to touch upon how we can leverage technology in these three areas. So yeah, we'll look at how we can leverage AI and technology in these three areas. First is the complaint processing. So I've divided it into two: intake automation and the coding automation. So what is intake? The processing or receipt of complaints from various sources into the manufacturer's database. So the different sources could be your mailbox, your online form, the call center or social media. What are the set of activities that we perform as a part of intake? We triage the information, that is we review and we classify as AEMIPQC, and then it has to be routed to the correct department. Prioritization has to be done. If it is reportable, it has to be prioritized and done first. Imagine there is a sales rep at the site and he collected the form 2 weeks back, but it was missed to be uploaded within the system, and then we are already late by 2 weeks. So we have to prioritize and process that first. So that is the priority. We have to acknowledge it to the reporter. So we have to say that we have received your complaint, this is the complaint ID, for future communications use this. So these are the set of initial activities performed as a part of intake. So what are the three main challenges? So human error, misclassification, missed communication, the response time, again the time all departments or the team working on this intake usually works in shifts to ensure 24/7 coverage. And then compliance and documentation. We as healthcare professionals want our time to be used in a very scientific manner. So we feel it as an administrative burden. So hence, if there's a tool which we can leverage to help us automate, then definitely it will be helpful. Let's see how AI and technology can help us here. First, in data extraction, we saw the whole bunch of different sources. So if it is in the form of a form or a PDF, or even if it is from the call center, it can convert voice to text and then extract the complaint. And if it is coming from via a mailbox, then narrative, it is a narrative format, so that it can extract and analyze. And similarly, social media is also in the form of a comment or a narrative. So it analyzes and classifies the information and it distributes it to the correct stakeholders. Let's look at an example. A consumer reported that during a biopsy procedure, the device allegedly failed to fire. The procedure was completed using another device. There was no reported patient injury. So the AI model will read this complaint, and it is clear to us also that there is only a product quality complaint and there is no associated patient problem or adverse event. So it will classify it as a PQC and route it automatically, forward it to the predefined email. So we've created a product quality email, so it forwards it to that particular dedicated mailbox. And imagine for a second, we all know what is a biopsy. So imagine for a second that we did not know. So the moment you see fire, you might think that it is a problem related to the heating issue, or similar to our burner, something failed to turn on. But the moment you see this device on your right hand side, so you know that there is a button which is supposed to fire a needle. It is supposed to collect the biopsy sample, and it has failed to work. So why I am highlighting this, it is that it is important to give this product context to your AI model. So train it so that it can work accurately and perform the extractions. Now, what are the added benefits? It helps in redaction, masking of patient information. I remember when I was working for this manual processing team, the team would download the source. If by chance the reporter has missed to mask the PII, they will have to download the source, use a marker, re-upload it within the system. And imagine if there is a discharge summary which is coming along the source, then it is time intensive and we have to be extremely careful. So we can leverage AI and technology in masking the PII. It can help us in prioritization. It can flag the serious events, the unlisted ones in our drug side, serious unlisted adverse events by comparing it with the label, and it can help us prioritize. Similarly, in the device side, it can help us in the reportability assessment. It can read through the narrative, say whether the complaint is reportable or not, and if we feed it with the regulatory intelligence. So there was an interesting talk where you have trained it on the regulatory documents. So if the model is trained on the regulatory intelligence, it can also predict the timelines in which you have to report to the particular country, because every agency has a different requirement and different timelines for reporting. Added benefits: audit trail, yes, whether the email was actioned and at what was the response time, and your visual dashboards. Administrative support, I want, although social media is also a different source, I wanted to specifically highlight this because this is one which is gaining a lot of traction at the moment. So in addition to the same identifying of AE, MI and PQC, the insight that you can get here is also the sentiment analysis and the product feedback. So the maximum category of complaint which you will receive is in the form of medical inquiries in the social media. So imagine the AI model can subcategorize these inquiries. It can say whether it is related to the function of the product, whether the features of the product, is it about the availability? I am in Hyderabad, can I use this product? Then cost, what is the cost of this product? So these are the typical questions which come in the social media. AI model can differentiate this and subcategorize it. And imagine if there are a lot of functional queries, then it means that there is something lacking in the instruction guide. We could add better clarity. So in this way, it is an insight to the manufacturer if they can make the user experience for the product better. Now companies are asking also, I want to extract from an image or from video, I want to extract the complaint. So thankfully we have the technology which is able to do all this extraction and help us with unlimited insights. So in summary, for this particular complaint processing, automated triage, it is able to extract the complaint from different sources. It is able to classify, send it to the concerned departments, 24/7 coverage and compliance. So the next we had was the coding automation. So what is IMDRF coding? It is similar to our MEDRA coding. It is recommended by International Medical Device Regulatory Forum. Now, why do we need it? For data harmonization. So imagine a scenario: fever, pyrexia, febrile, body temperature increase, body temperature spike. All these are referring to the same item, same concept. If we have to align it and code it uniformly so that the analysis makes sense, right, is meaningful. That's why coding harmonization, it is also required as a part of the incident form. This is the manufacturer incident report form which is submitted to the European medicines agencies. It has a section where you have to complete the IMDRF code. Similarly, the US FDA MedWatch form also you have to code. Now, what is the complexity with this IMDRF? It has multiple annexes, 7 annexes. For example, Annex A has codes related to the device problem, B, C, D has codes related to the investigations, E has codes related to the patient problem or the adverse event. Annex F has a health impact, it helps us in determining the seriousness of the event, and Annex G is for the medical device component. Now, again, why is it complex? It has hierarchical structure. Now, this is a screenshot from Annex A, which is the device problem. For example, at the high level, we have output problem. Within output, it could be an issue with either the display or the reading are inaccurate. That is a mid level. Then again within the display you have lower level terms of image being distorted, orientation is incorrect or poor quality. So this is an example of the complex hierarchical structure of IMDRF coding. What are the challenges with manual processing? Again, inaccurate, inconsistent, time consuming. All the narratives are not going to be as simple as the one we saw, right? Biopsy needle failed to fire. It's going to be extremely long with multiple allegations, multiple device problems, multiple patient problems. So how can AI/ML help here? It can seamlessly integrate with the existing database or the QMS. It can again review the complaint, it can extract the information, these are the device problems, these are the patient problems. It can also give you the code. So here is an example of the same complaint which we saw, a biopsy needle failing to fire. So it has coded it to the lower level term of failure to fire, which falls under the category of firing problem.
Fine.
And it comes under the higher level of mechanical problem. It gives you the exact code below A050501, which along with the definition, so that you can compare it from your regulatory guidance. Now this is an example of a complaint having multiple allegations. So the ML can also pick that crack is the device problem, whereas eye irritation, eye pain, retinal tear are the patient problem, and the system has identified the E codes, and it also says that it is a serious injury because retinal tear required surgical intervention. So it also predicts the F code. So again, advantages of ML, I don't have to repeat, it's obvious. And again, literature is a very important source of our post-marketing information. And why do we need this in a device context? To identify safety and performance, identify real world evidence and literatures to support the safety and performance of our medical device. So it can help us in automations, can help us in data retrieval. The same concept is in drug. We create a search string, we execute the search, we retrieve the hits, and then we have to perform deduplication, and then comes the analysis part. So automation can help us in this entire flow of retrieval, and let's look at how AI can help us in analysis. First, it can identify the entities. Look at the different entities of patient identifier, the adverse event, the drugs which has been identified on the right hand side. It also established the relationship or context between the entities. It says that this is the adverse event, cardiogenic shock, asystole with the suspect drug. It says there is a temporal association, which means the adverse event happened after drug intake, and it also says there's an overdose, which is a special situation which has identified, and the associated toxicity. So all the safety information it has identified from the literature. A similar example from the device side, where it has identified what is the device identifier, that is the green. It is an intraocular lens. It identifies the device problem, opacification, the patient problem, blurry vision, and also the patient identifier. This abstract is related to the 60-year-old one. The moment you see the highlighted, you get the story or the journey of what has happened in this. In this way, the entire your literature review time is saved from days to minutes. And signal detection, what do we look for in signal detection? New association between a drug and an adverse event, or a device and an adverse event, or a device and a problem, or a new aspect of a known association. Means I know that something can happen, but if there is a change in the frequency of severity, that also I have to monitor as a part of signal detection. Here are the regulatory guidances that have been highlighted in bold. So that this again can be automated. So the statistics can, it can aggregate the different sources. Here you see is the MOD. This is the US FDA database, which gives you the device related complaints. So from that, you see bent is one device problem, and you see in the device there are different lenses, different intraocular lenses. So the system takes the count. The count is the number of cases that happened for bent with this particular lens, and it throws a score, a statistical score, and based on the score, the decision can be taken whether it is a true potential signal or not. So based on the threshold level. So for this is the odds reporting rate, where the threshold is generally considered as 2. So anything about 2 is considered a potential true signal. So this entire process of signal detection can be automated using statistics and AI, ML you can use further for your analysis. Again, trending report is very important in case of our device, which can also be performed using, you can leverage automations to help you with training. The advantage is you can handle large data set, you can quick compute, objective because it is fully statistical, and you can do various comparisons. It helps you in better decision making. So what is the future? The future is moving towards proactive and predictive vigilance, right?
Last minute.
Yes, sir, I'm done. So multiple options are there. So one is predicting of DILI, drug-induced liver injury, is very famous, which is giving a lot of momentum in the pharmacovigilance side. Chemical fingerprint, we are able to predict what are the adverse drug reactions that are expected with this molecule. It uses the post-marketing knowledge which is already available. And then in the device side as well, people want to look for trends and forecasting the device problems and adverse events. This is a moving average kind of methodology which we are exploring and experimenting in the predictive aspects. So without summary, it is very helpful to us and it can make our lives a lot more easier. It can give us better insights, help us with better compliance and efficiencies. Again, we have to consider accuracy, security, data privacy and handling of bias before we go about implementing any AI based system. Thank you so much for this opportunity.